All right, let's talk about the state legislature this year. So there's a lot of talk about the Democrats possibly taking over a supermajority in the Senate. What do you expect to see in Tuesday's results, and what surprises might we expect?
I don't think Democrats are going to get that crucial 24th vote. There's really one Senate race that I think will be the determining factor. That's in Senate District 5, which is sort of the central portion of the western slope. The Republican who's running for that seat, Mark Catlin, is relatively popular with Democrats, and I think he will. He's term limited in the House. He will be running for that Senate seat, and I expect that to be a very, very close race. But I think he'll come out on top. If he does, I expect things to kind of remain the same as they are right now, which is that Democrats have 23 seats and Republicans have 12.
So moving into the House, do you expect any surprises, changes, or do you think it might be the status quo as we move forward from Tuesday's results?
I think Republicans have got a chance of picking up maybe 2, maybe 3 seats total. There's a couple of races where in that Democratic wave year in 2022, you had people like Stephanie Vigil, who got elected down in Colorado Springs. She's a Democrat. Jennifer Parenti got elected in House District 19, which is Erie, Weld County, and Eastern Boulder County. Those seats could potentially flip. And based on what I'm seeing in terms of spending by independent expenditure committees, those are 2 of the races that they have targeted more than any other. So it's entirely possible that, and the thing with Parenti, I'll back up a little bit here, she decided not to run for re-election. She was a first-term lawmaker, and the person who got into the race is not particularly well known. Name recognition is everything. So I would not be at all surprised if that race up in Erie flipped. I would not be surprised if the seat in Colorado Springs flipped. Where Democrats aren't really working on offense this year. The spending I'm seeing really says that they're working on defense. They're looking to defend the gains that they have made over the last 3 election cycles. And we'll see on Tuesday how well that went.
So going beyond Tuesday and into the new session this year, there was a lot of talk about the 2024 session kind of calming down and having a lot more bipartisan efforts compared to the 2023 year. What do you expect in 2025?
What I'm hopeful for, I don't know if this is my expectation, but what I'm hopeful for is more of the same that we saw in 2024. And part of that is due to some changes that took place during the primary, where you saw several progressive Democrats who have been involved in some of the more rancorous activity in the Capitol lost their primary election bids. This was particularly true in Denver in House District 4, which was Tim Hernandez, and House District 8, which was Elizabeth Epps. Both of them lost and pretty resoundingly in their primary races. And you have people who are, I wouldn't call them moderates. I think they're still progressive Democrats, but they are not known for being vitriolic. And so we are going to have a fair number of new lawmakers, but most of the people who won the primaries are people who are more toward, they're left of center, but they're closer to the center than being on the far left. And the same is true in the Republican caucus, in the House in particular, where most of the people who won those primary races are people who are more aligned with the minority leader and sort of conservative Republicans, but not far right Republicans. You had a lot of folks who were backed by the Colorado Republican Party chair, Dave Williams. Almost all of them lost. So I could see the 25 session being closer to what 24 was like than what we saw in 2023.
The 2024 election ballot in Colorado this year is long and extensive, with 14 ballot measures, multiple state races, congressional races, as well as your local races in multiple counties. We have a dozen journalists from the Denver Gazette as well as Colorado Politics covering all of these races to bring you the results up to date and to the minute on Tuesday night. Please follow us on denvergazette.com as well as coloradopolitics.com for analysis, results, and all of your election questions.